Apparently, someone at Samsung didn't get the message that newer versions of a product are supposed to be much better than the older ones. Behold, the Samsung Gear 360 2017 edition, available now for around $230 from Amazon.com. Hi, I'm James Bruce, and today we are taking a look at the Samsung Gear 360 2017 edition, a dual sensor camera with 180 degrees super wide angle lenses that captures a spherical view of everything around you. Now, since this is a new edition of last year's model, it's worth comparing the two directly and seeing exactly what's changed. From a design perspective, the new model is a lot smaller and lighter. And it's also sprouted a leg on the bottom, which makes holding it a lot easier. Great for taking a photo above your head or walking around while holding it. However, for the best quality photos and videos, you'll still want to mount it onto a tripod, which is fine because there's a tripod screw thread on the bottom here. It also comes with this neat little rubber stand, which you can place down and hold the 360 camera in place on a table or level surface. The new model takes true 4K video, while the older one was ever so slightly lower than 4K. Not an awful lot of difference there. Crucially though, the 2017 model is compatible with a wide variety of smartphones, not just the Samsung Galaxy Android phones. This can also be used with iPhones. And that was a pretty crippling restriction of the older device. The new model is also capable of 2K video live streaming. However, that does require a new Android device running Nougat OS. Unfortunately, the image resolution in the newer model has actually been halved from that of the older one. It's 15 megapixels total in this one compared to 30 megapixels in the older device. Now, while the megapixel count of course isn't a true measure of quality, it does mean the actual resolution has been halved of the photos that you can take. A fact that's then exacerbated by the iOS app, which refuses to save at full resolution. Now, this could be a limitation of iOS, but suffice to say the image you save to your camera roll is about 80% of what it could be if you took it directly off the SD card. So much so, in fact, that you can't then upload those images directly to Google Street View. It simply refuses to accept them because they're too low of a resolution. Which brings me on to the main failing of the 2017 model of this device, and that is Google Street View. The Gear 360 camera has been a long-time favorite of Street View photographers and is listed by Google themselves as Street View workflow ready. Now, remember I said the previous model couldn't actually be used with smartphones other than the Galaxy line, and that's not strictly true. If you placed it into a special Street View Wi-Fi mode, the Street View app on any phone could connect directly to the camera and then upload the images straight from there. There was no need for any third-party software made by Samsung. The new 2017 edition model has broken that compatibility. It just won't recognize the camera when it's broadcasting its Wi-Fi, and you can't use it with Street View. Doesn't matter, you say, they've got their own native Samsung software on iOS now. But as I mentioned, that saves photos in too low of a resolution for use with Street View. So the upshot of all this is that Street View compatibility has been completely broken, at least for the time being, until they push out some sort of a firmware update which will fix the Wi-Fi name, if that's ever going to happen. In all other ways, the quality is great. The stitching between the two halves of the photographs has been improved dramatically. You shouldn't notice any more artifacts where it looks a bit dodgy on the seams. As for video quality, being 4K really does help it. In the past, when I've reviewed cheapy Chinese imports that did 1080p 360-degree video, the fact is that when expanded to cover your full field of view, it was worse than old school broadcast quality on analog TVs, very pixelated. I finally feel like 4K brings that quality up to a reasonable standard. It's still not great. It's still going to look effectively like DVD quality when it's stretched out, but you know what? That's all right. It's pretty good. The other benefit of using a big brand name like Samsung is that the videos already have the correct metadata inserted, so you can upload the photos directly to Facebook or the videos directly to YouTube, and it will automatically recognize them as being a 360-degree video or photo and display them as such without any other adjustment on your part or processing. You can see an example of the 360-degree video now, or hit up the link in the description to view it directly on YouTube. It's important to remember though that 360 videos produced by this camera are not in 3D. And I know that seems kind of obvious, but people tend to confuse 3D, VR and 360 and just lump them all into the same bucket, and they're very much different things. Because there's only a single lens on either side of this camera, the videos you take are a spherical reprojection of the world. Effectively, when you watch them, you're going to be sitting in a big bubble. So should you buy the Samsung Gear 360? Well, that really depends on what it is that you're looking to do with it. If you're hoping to get into Google Street View photography, then absolutely not. Forget about it. They've completely broken the workflow with this one. Instead, now that the new model's released, I'd suggest looking on eBay for the old model, which people will be getting rid of now for around $100 to $150. If you're more interested in the video production side of things, then this is certainly one of the best quality consumer level 360-degree cameras that you can buy today. At under $250, you can make some really good quality videos if that's what you're trying to do. The reason I've given it such a low score is purely because of the halving of the image resolution and the incompatibility with Street View. If those don't bother you and you are primarily interested in the video side of things, then feel free to ignore my score completely. It's certainly easy to use and it works with a wide range of smartphones. Even better than buying one for yourself, head on over to MakeUseOf.com and enter our competition. If you enter the code No Street View, yes, I really am salty about that, then you'll get some bonus entries in the competition. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit like and comment, or subscribe if you're not already, to be notified of all of our weekly giveaways and technology tutorials from all of us at MakeUseOf.com. Thanks for watching.